All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahawah Kwadash. I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, this is the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming at you with another live lesson. Today's live lesson is entitled World War III, What Happened Sooner Than You Think. Okay, and the inspiration for this lesson was this. It was like this meme right here that you see in front of you. I saw it on like social media, and I emailed it to myself so that I can get the picture. It says the question is, did you know? It says if sudden World War III happened after 100 years, what can be reason? What can be reason for it? So I'm not sure if they were saying what can be the reason for it. Well, World War III is going to happen way before 100 years from now. You know, it's going to be in our lifetime. You know, this great war is being fomented as we speak. You know, with the great powers that's ruling right now, the Edomite powers, Russia and America, the so-called great powers that are ruling right now. Okay, they're going to go to war with each other. And how we know that's going to happen in this lifetime, because World War III is going to also be the catalyst for us being saved up out of here. You know, it's going to be a lot of things happening. The RFID chip, the microchip, which is the mark of the beast, being mandated for the people, you know, of the whole earth. You get it? Okay, you got America saying that they about to ditch the fiat currency for digital currency. Okay, and other nations in Europe are moving towards RFID chip for cashless payments, okay, and credits and debits. And then on top of that, you're going to have these nations being in perplexation, if that's a word, or being perplexed, you know, because of the financial woes. And on top of that, these nations, they're going to stop agreeing with each other and stop sitting down with each other, and they're going to have a World War III, okay? And that's going to be the end of this man's society, okay? So, like, for somebody to say if World War III happened after 100 years from now, they're going off, man. They don't have any understanding. And that's the reason why I wanted to bring this out, because like I just said, World War III is going to be the precursor for us being saved up out of this land, man. Because when World War III happens, nuclear missiles are going to be flying, man. I'm not sure if it was Albert Einstein that said if after nuclear war, the next war after the nuclear war will be with sticks and stones, man. All right. Okay, you see a lot of people, a lot of our people, especially Black, Hispanics, Native Americans, chiefly on social media, making fun and light of World War III. You know, acting, you know, making jokes about being drafted, making jokes about, you know, switching sides. You know, but a lot of these people that are taking it as a joke, it's going to get real serious on you one day in your lifetime when you being shipped off to the Middle East to do battle against these other nations, man. Okay, men, and they go for the men and the women, man. You know, because men and what's going to be different about this draft from any other draft is that women are going to be drafted, man. You already got women serving in the military as we speak, you know. So, hey, you can fight too. All hands on deck, according to Esau. But according to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, war is coming. You know, and real quick, this is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. It says, the prophet that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And is not America a great country? It is a great country. It's the number one richest country on the planet Earth, man. You know, pretty much what they say. You know, it's a first world country, all right, and against great kingdoms. And it is not Esau's kingdom a great kingdom right now because he's ruling, man. And his greatest accomplishment is America, man. Grabbing it from the so-called native Indians and Mexicans, which are the tribe of Gad and Issachar and Reuben, and then bringing the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi over here to build the land up for nothing, you know, putting us in hardcore bondage and slavery. All right. So the prophets of old, before before us, prophesied against the same thing that we're prophesying. The prophet that have been before me and before the of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, because that's what's coming. World War III is coming, you know, and you can kind of say you already in the early throes of it, man, because these nations are starting to choose sides. Nations are getting up reasons to go to war with one another. You know, he says so war and of evil, and evil is bad times, and that's what we're telling our people, whether they hear it or forbear it, that bad times are coming, man. You see everybody right now is in a jovial mood. They all in a mirth spirit. You know, the party just don't stop. The niggas, they traveling the world, you know, seeing everything and enjoying their life, man. Last year, niggas was saying they was living their best life, you know. So they don't realize that evil times are coming, man. Bad times, man. There's going to be famine. There's going to be hunger. There's going to be death. There's going to be disease, pestilence, and that's what it says right here in of evil and of pestilence. Okay, and when you look up pestilence, when you look up pestilence in the Hebrew, that's dabar. It says pestilence, plagues, and the main plague is going to be that nuclear missile. But you also got, it says marine, cattle, disease, cattle, plague, and you got a lot of animals just suddenly dying off now, and they don't know why it's happening, you know. But this whole America is going to be filled with all of this stuff, man. You know, and it's coming, and we're prophesying about it. And the word prophesy means to speak before. You know, you're not going to find this in your so-called Christian church. You're not going to find this in any of these world religions. They're not prophesying to you and letting you know what's happening and getting you spiritually prepared for what's about to happen and transpire. The prophets which prophesy of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall that prophet be known that the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, have truly sent them. That's right, because when all these things happen right now, people don't believe in it. A lot of people, they just think that this is a game, it's a joke. They don't have they're not taking this moment serious when they're watching, if they're watching the news, or if they're keeping up with geopolitics, or if they're keeping up with just how the world is going right now. Okay, they don't realize that, but we're telling our people because we're watching, okay, and we're looking, okay, and we're applying everything that's happening right now to the scriptures, man. We're filtering it through the scriptures, man. And when all these things come to pass, it says, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord have truly sent them, that Yahweh Shai truly sent them. Yeah, that's when people going to be like, oh man, you guys really are the men of the Lord. You know, starting off with the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, and the brothers on down, people are going to be like, yo, you really are those men, because we were talking about this long before it happened, man. All right, which a lot of people don't realize that this thing is really going to happen. You know, like a couple weeks ago, they had a whole bunch of memes on the internet about the World War III draft and having to go to war, which these kids, these young people between 26 and 18, they're not even really fit to go to war, man. You know, and that's not just happening here in America, but even over there in the UK and Britain. You know, they got an issue with obesity, they got an issue with mental health, they got issues with all kinds of shit. But when World War III comes, they're not really gonna think about that. That's not gonna be on their mind, because first of all, you're not coming back, and they know it, because while American troops are fighting all in the Middle East and throughout the world, this place is gonna be destroyed, man. Okay, and if you over there in that sandbox, that's where you're gonna stay at. You know, that's where you're gonna be buried at. All right, for following the beast. Because if you in this man's military, you're following the beast, man. You know, so this is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. It says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it." Says, for the indignation of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is upon all nations. That indignation is righteous anger, man. The anger that the Lord has towards these nations is rightfully warranted, man. Because what are they doing? They're breaking his law, statutes, and commandments. They're enslaving his people, and they're destroying this earth that he created. All right? So it says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. And that's what the Lord is going to do. Okay, he's going to bring the world's armies over into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and he's going to destroy them. Okay? He's going to have them destroy themselves. He's going to have Esau destroy his own kingdom, man, with those nuclear missiles. All right? These world powers that you see today, so-called world powers, the Russians and Americans, they're the same people, man. One just speaking Russian, the other one is speaking English, man. But they're Edomites, man. They both Edomite nations. And the scripture says, if Satan be divided against Satan, how can his kingdom stand, man? See, not even all these Edomites are all together or on the same page, man. Okay, so the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Shai, is delivering these nations to their slaughter, man. To the slaughter. Verse 3, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, which is these different countries, these different governments. They're going to be melted with the blood of their people, man, that they done sent to this war. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, which the word host means army, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as the falling fig from the fig tree. So these when these in that rolling scroll, so the heavens shall be dissolved. Why? Because it's going back to those elements, man. That nuclear missile explosion is gonna, melt the elements, man. Okay. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. So all the armies of heaven, or that's flying in the sky, are going to be dissolved, man. All those planes, let's get that. Let me get it right now. All the hosts. So all the hosts, that word for host is Tazabah. And it says that which go forth army warfare. So all their planes, all those armies in heaven, those drones, those planes in different nations, they're all going to be melted away, man. They're all going to be burnt up. There's army of hosts. Okay? They're all going to be burnt up. Because, see, this is the script. We already know that when World War III happened, you lose, Esau. You're not going to win. You're going to fight each other. And then when you see Yahweh Shai, when you see Yahweh Shai come back on the chariot, you're going to try to fight him. And you're going to lose. Okay? You're going to lose terribly. It's already written. Okay? It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, and that sword is the nuclear missiles. All right? And all of these things that we're speaking about are going to happen well before 100 years, because people put it out there like, oh, it'll be 100 years, oh, it'll be 50, or it'll be 20. No, this thing is going to happen sooner than you think, man. I don't have the date, but it's going to happen in our lifetime, man. It's going to happen. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, and behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. So that we know that this is not talking about in the ancient world. Isaiah was prophesying about right now. Because that's who the Lord got his eye on to destroy 2/3 of our people, but Idumea, Esau, because who's ruling right now? The scripture says who will be ruling at the end of the world. All right? Who will be ruling when this thing goes down? This is 2nd Esdras chapter 9. I'm sorry, 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 9. Salaki, I have a cold. It says 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. It says, is it 6 and 9? Yeah. 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we know that the Edomites are not Jacob. Because if that was so, then this would be the kingdom. But this isn't the kingdom. This is the kingdom of the heathen, the Edomite. So we know that he's ruling. For Esau is the end of the world. This is the end of the world. Esau is going to be ruling at the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So Jacob is going to inherit the kingdom after Esau loses it, man. Okay. And when did that happen when did that happen in history yet? Okay, you had a first situation like that in 1,000 years when this devil was locked inside them caves, man. And he was a known person on the earth, on the scene. All these dark nations ran him up into the mountains because he was a thief and a liar. Okay. So that's talking about right now. And so the Lord said, his sword shall be bathed in heaven, right? That sword is that destructive nuclear missile, man. And when it says bathed in heaven, it's going to go out the outer atmosphere and come back down onto earth and hit his targets, man. All right. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Now we know that modern Idumea is American. Wherever these Edomites are at, man. And you see it right here. Idumea is Adam or Adawam, which is Edomites or Edom or Edomites, red descendants of Esau, and that's who rules this earth today. Okay, here, even including here in America. All right, the land of Idumea, the side of Palestine. Now we know that the missile's not going to hit Petra because it ain't nothing there. It ain't except old remnants or relics of Esau's old kingdom, man. When he first built that land up in Mount Seir, man. Okay, but all of that looking like Greek and Roman architecture, because all they did was just use what they already knew. All right, and likewise here today in modern day Rome, because this is the second leg of Rome, they do the same thing here. All right, they build the same way with all that concrete. They build in high skyscrapers. You see? All right. So it says, my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon all the people of my curse to judgment. So there are people that's cursed. And the reason why this is happening is for their judgment. So the question was, if sudden World War III happened after 100 years, which is not going to happen after 100 years, because it wasn't 100 years since the last World War II. What can be the reason? Well, the reason, and we're giving it to you, the reason for it is judgment, man. Is judgment. Okay? For what these devils have done to the children of Israel, what they have done to the land of Israel, with the blasphemy they have done against our power, Yahweh Shem Shai, you know what I'm saying, and destroying the earth, man. It's all judgment for their sins, for their iniquities. And every nation that ever committed iniquity, they've all been destroyed. And all these nations, they went through that at one point in time or another, man. You know, the Babylonian Empire, which was the golden head, you know, that was destroyed. That went down. Okay? Why? Because they did iniquity. And they had the Lord's people in slavery. Then you had the Persian and the Mede Empire. What happened? They were committing iniquity. You know, the night that Babylonian Nebuchadnezzar's grandson or son died, okay, they were drinking out of the sacred cups like it was nothing, man. They would, and then the Lord put that hand on the wall, that hand appeared to start writing on the wall, man. And their kingdom was over. And then that night, Cyrus the Great or Darius the Mede, you know, came into power, man. Came into power that very night. But then who took down the Persian and the Mede Empire because of their iniquities? The Lord had the Greek Empire led by Alexander the Greek, man, and his generals. And when they were ruling, what happened? Evils multiplied upon the earth, sin, wickedness. So for their judgment, that kingdom was destroyed. Okay, infighting, and ultimately the Romans took over, man. Ultimately, it was the Romans, which were still Edomites, But they end up taking over. And then after the pagan Roman Empire fell, you had Jake's ruling for a 1,000-year period, man. All the way up throughout the Middle Ages, man. Okay? But what happened? Jake, we were going off. We were committing iniquity, sin, you know. So the Lord had us put in slavery. So now this kingdom that's here right now, which is the kingdom of the Edomite, is going to go down because of what? Judgment. All our sins. This is real quick. This is Revelation chapter 18. Let's see. I'll pull it up. Yeah, Revelation chapter 18. Revelation 18 and 1. And Shalom and all the Akim on the comment board too. Revelation 18 and 1. And after this, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils. Okay? And the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, her democracy, her libertarianism, her homosexuality, lesbianism, women's rights, all of that shit, man. All of that. Everything that America is, these other nations try to copy it, man. And this didn't happen in ancient Babylon. When the ancient Babylonian Empire fell, they didn't go through all this, man. You know, that guy, he ended up getting put the one, Nebuchadnezzar's grandson or son, he ended up getting put to death. And then it was a peaceful transition, man, with Cyrus the Great, I think it was. All right? But anyway, it says, for all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And right, that's America. America has endless amounts of delicacies, man. Endless amounts of ways to get rich. That's why nations come over here to do business. These nations come over here to set up business because this is a place that you can make money and you can be successful and you can get rich. And these merchants, these major merchants of the earth, they've waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, man. So they've all committed fornication with her. All right. All these nations have done it, man, in one form or way or another, whether that be through her finance. It's mainly done through the finance, you know, through the IMF, which is located in Washington, D.C. Okay. All right. So it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquity. So while you Edomites try to act like you forgot about all the destruction, death, murder, and mayhem, and robbery, and lies that you've done here in this country and all around the world, but chiefly here in America, to the Israelites, okay? And you're even doing that to these other nations. Well, mainly to us, hey, the Most High have remembered all that. You Edomites, 130 years or 150 years past, and you just forget about slavery. You just forget about that whole institution. And slavery wasn't only had in America, but all throughout the Americas, North, Central, and South America. Slavery was a thing. It was going on, man. You know, big time, man. You Edomites are the ones that chiefly profited from that endeavor, man. All right. And that was a sin. Because the scriptures speak about you know, a man being stolen and found in the hands of that man. That man that stole him got to get put to death, man. And we're still here in this captivity today, even as we. All right, we ain't go nowhere. We still here. All right. It says, so her sins, her iniquities, they have reached the heavens, man. And the Most High have remembered her iniquities. So again, you Edomites, you forget about it, but the Most High, he remember it, man. Reward her even as she rewarded you. Double unto her double, according to her works. The cup which she had filled, filled to her double. So you Edomites, you're going to get a double dose of destruction. After this place is destroyed, from sea to shining sea, you're going to get double what you gave us, man. All right? How much has she glorified herself and lived deliciously? Yeah, you were just living good. No man ever came to this, no other nation ever entered this land as much as America sends its armies to go to these different countries and claim that they liberating it, but really they go in there to pillage and take the resources, okay, and destabilize economies and destabilize nations, okay? That's going to come over here. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. Yeah, God bless America, America this, America that. Y'all speak proudly about this place. So you glorify yourself, you Edomites, man. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. And what is that day? That day that World War III is happening, that day that Yahweh Shai comes back, man. The day that the Lord comes back. When the Lord comes back, trust and believe, you nations are going to be fighting with each other, man. Okay? You nations, you're going to be fighting with each other. All right? It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. So that's talking about America, because ancient Babylon wasn't burnt with fire. It still exists. It's just in that same heat called Iraq, but it still exists. For strong is the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who judgeth her. Okay? All right? And all this will happen in 1 hour, man. 1 hour, man. Okay? Keep reading. Back in Isaiah chapter 34, it says, verse 6, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat. It is made with the fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai have a sacrifice in Basra, and America is modern day Basra too. In a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, this land right here. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. You see, when that nuclear missile hit. For it is a day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of the recompense for the controversy of Zion. All of this is a recompense for what you Edomites have done to us. Okay? So World War III is going to happen in your lifetime. It's going to happen well before 100 years, man. And you can look at the times, see the times that we're in, and see what's going on around the world, man. How these nations are arming up and getting ready to do great battle, man. I think I saw either an article or a thumbnail that said that 2020 was going to be a year of mass protests, okay, and uprisings, man. And the scriptures speak about that. The scriptures speak about nation rising against nation and kingdom against kingdom. You know, the scriptures speak expressly about that. All right. Again, and it's a recompense, a payback for the controversy of Zion, which is us. So that word recompense is shalom? Recompense, shalom, which is requital, reward. Okay, so there's a recompense, it's the reward for the controversy of Zion, man. And that controversy, that word there is wayab, and it says strife, controversy, dispute, strife, quarrel, controversy, case law. And that's what it is. That's what's going on right now, because the big controversy is that the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans are waking up and prophesying against this devil, and they're saying that we're not the Lord's people. That's a controversy. You know, they're over there in that land, separated by a line, but it don't belong to none of them over there. right? And the Israelites that are living over there, they're catching hell. You see, going off too. All right. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone. So it's going to be bad over here because that fire is going to, the nuclear fire going to explode, and then everything else is combustible down here too. So even the dust going to be turned into brimstone, man. And the land thereof shall become burning pitch, man. Right? And it shall not be quenched night or day, right? Because nobody's going to put this fire out. The smoke thereof shall go up forever, which is a certain amount of time. From generation to generation, it shall lie waste. So when this place is destroyed, nobody's coming back here, right? Nobody's coming back here to live. It's going to be a place for desert creatures, right? So we know that's not talking about Babylon and Iraq. It's talking about America, which is modern day Babylon the Great, right? None shall pass through it forever and ever, but the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and these are all unclean birds. And he shall stretch out upon the line of confusion, because you're not going to be able to tell where one state started or where another state ended when this place is melted down. And the stones of emptiness, man. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. And that's you Edomites that's in power, man. You're gonna be nothing. And thorns shall come up in her place, nettles and brambles in the fortress thereof, and it shall be in the habitation of dragons, in a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also be with the wild beasts of the island. And the satyr shall cry to his fellow, the screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest, man. There shall the great owl make her nest and lay hatch and gather under the shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these things shall fail. So if you sought out the book and read, this kind of question wouldn't pop up, because the majority of people don't want to read the Bible. The majority of people don't believe in the scriptures, man. But that's okay. When all these things come to pass, then you're going to know a prophet was amongst you, man. Okay? Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None of these shall want her mate. For my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit have gathered them. Okay? It's Joel 2. Actually Joel 3. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 3. I'll start at 1 actually. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, because when all this is happening, we're going to be saved out of it. There's going to be some trouble happening, a lot of trouble happening, a lot of things happening. But Yahweh Shemar Shah is going to protect us in that day. That's just like he protected us now, right? And I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. And the valley of Jehoshaphat is in the Middle East, man. I'll give you a quick picture of it, man. Yep. This is a picture of the so-called Middle East, man. All right. You got Iran, you got Iraq, you got Afghanistan over here, Turkestan, Afghanistan, Pakistan. You got but mainly the fight is going to be here, because it said that his hind parts are going to be facing the Red Sea, and he's going to be in front of the Gulf, man. So it's mainly right here. This so-called Middle East right here. This is where the bulk of the battle is going to be fought. All in this area right here. All right. So this is the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, and the valley of Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment. All right. Okay. All right. For behold, in those days say in those days, Joel 3:1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and the Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat and will plead with them. When the Lord pleases, that means he's going to judge you. Judge them, judge with them, plead with them there for my people. So for his people, who are the Israelites? We are the Israelites. And for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. And that's what these devils did. They pushed us to the four winds through different conquests and invasions. Okay. We got out of Israel after 70 AD. We had saw that land no more. We were scattered to the winds. And then the transatlantic slave trade happened, and they scattered us some more. And our people are either forced to flee or forced to live and grow up in these different lands with these different heathen nations. All right. So you got Israelites in all these nations in the world, man. Right. So they scattered us and they parted their land, man. You know, this right here, Israel, man. All right. Slovakia. It says, and they have cast lots, for my people, and given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. And they did that heavy during the transatlantic slave trade. Yeah. And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own heads? And that's Tyre and Zidon. That's where them currently where them Arabs stay at, man. You know, the Arab nations up in there. You know, because ye have taken my silver and my gold and have carried it into your temples. Right. Every time they destroyed us, what did? They sacked the temple, man. That's the first thing they did was besides kill us and destroy us, is sack the temple, man. Because ye have taken my silver and gold and have carried into your temples my goodly and pleasant things. Yeah, because these devils, they still got the menorahs. They're still there. They're still around. Pure gold. You know, they got all the cups, the shields, all of that. These devils got all of that in a vault somewhere, man. Okay. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, right? And the Grecians are the Edomites, man. That ye might remove them far from their border, and that's what they did. That's what the Hamites did. You even had wicked Jakes, but this came to you heathen nations. You sold us off into to the so-called white man's hands, and he removed us far from our border, man, which is America. In these Americas, man, we've been well far from out. This is super far from Israel, man. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. So that's coming through that world war. Real quick, since I mentioned that war again, this is Revelation 9 and 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more after. And that woe is destruction, man. That word for woe in the Greek.
Strong's G 3759 Uai. Uai.
Right. It's Uai or woe. It means destruction. Okay. Often thrice repeated, followed by omitted, twice repeated. It really don't go get a destruction, but it's talking about destruction, man, of woe. So one woe passed, that was World War I. And it said what? It said, and behold, there come two more woes more hereafter, which is what? The Second World War, and the Third World War. All right. This Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Right. And that second woe that was the Second World War. All right. And that happened, and now we're going into the Third World War, man, which is happening quickly. All right. And some people that follow the world militaries, they'll say that actually America been in the early throes of World War, even during the Cold War in the 90s with the Russians, man. But it take a while for wars like this to start. They don't just start overnight. It take tension, it take things to happen, and then once diplomacy completely fails, that's when war breaks out, man. All right, and these nations, they got connected with each other through NATO and the EU. So if one goes to war, they all go to war. Okay. If one nation goes to war, all the nations go to war. That was their promise, man. All right. And it says, okay, yeah, and the third will come in quickly. So yeah, that's coming, man. Back in Joel chapter 3, it says, verse 7, it says, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them. And the Lord is doing that, first spiritually, then he's going to physically do it. And return your recompense upon your own head. I will sell your sons and your daughters, you Edomites, your sons and daughters, going to be sold into the hands of the children of Judah. And they shall sell them to the Sabians, which are Hamites, to a people far off. For the Lord Yahweh have spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. The weak say, I'm strong. And that's what's happening. These weak countries, they're proclaiming that they're strong. They're saying that they're strong. They're yelling it, man. Ready to fight. You got Pakistan got nukes. India got nukes. North Korea got nukes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these weak countries, they're saying they're strong, man. And they're turning their plowshares, meaning they're taking their money that they use for agriculture and the betterment of their land, and they're putting their money into their militaries, man. All right? Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I judge all the heathen round about. So that judgment is coming, man. That's all part of the war. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. And that's all happening for your judgment, because your wickedness is great. Look at this place, man. Look at this place, man. This place can't be this ain't the kingdom. Are you crazy? All the wickedness that's going down here, man. I just saw I saw a article that was basically saying that the Edomites, man, from the UK, them pedophile Edomites, using lands in Africa to get their pedophilia on, man. And ain't nobody doing nothing about it, man. Over there in Gambia, man. You see? You got pictures of Edomite men, carrying little Jake babies, man. Okay? Having their way, man. You see? So this place got to go. This place can't go on. It can't go on no fucking 100 years. It's not going to go on another 100 years. It's not going to go on another 50 years, man. Not even another 20 or 10 or 5. Lord willing. This place is out of here, man. Multitudes in a valley of decisions. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining, because when the nuclear missiles go off, it's going to block out the sun, man. It's going to block out the clouds, man. It's going to be dark. It's going to go from being broad daylight to darkness, man. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. In the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. Why they don't bring that out of the church, man? He's the hope and strength of the children of Israel. The children of Israel are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, and people that go back to us on your father's side. If you, I'm sorry, people that go back to us on your father's side that look like the other nations. Okay. All right. So shall ye know that I am the Lord your God, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. And that's how you know that some people in Israel don't fit the prophecies that are written. Because who's living over in Jerusalem right now? A bunch of fucking heathens, man. Purping like they're the Lord's people, man. You know? Going off, man. Right? So I had some other scriptures, but I think I'll probably just answer that, you know, through the Spirit. I don't want to make this too long, but, you know, answering this question, you know, if World War III happened after 100 years, what can be reason for, or what can be the reason? Well, we already told you that through the Spirit, probably how about Shai, that this war is not going to take 100 years to happen. It's going to happen well before that. And then we told you the reasons why it's going to happen, for judgment. Okay, judgment, recompense for what they did to us, man. The Lord's people, what they did to the Lord's people, Lord's land, and also for their wickedness, man. All right, and the scriptures speak especially about that third woe, man. It's going to be terrible, man. Oh, before I end all, let me get this scripture right here in Isaiah 9:5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and with a fuel of fire." You see? So this one is going to go down with burning and fuel of fire, man, which is that nuclear missiles, man. Okay? This one is going down with those nuclear missiles, man. All right? And so with that, all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wahab, Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, the teacher's word of truth, sincerity, from whom well. And salutations to my fellow Ak. Keep pushing, keep striving. I was out of here. Hey, shalom.